Hello, everybody. This is John with Garfield Heights Coin Club. Again, this is John with Garfield Heights Coin Club. We're live with Mr. Monkey Swag 96, and we're going to do a couple things this evening. First and foremost, I wanted to, I did a live earlier just to kind of figure some buttons out, but I wanted to invite Mr. Monkey Swag over for a public thank you. Mr. Monkey Swag has supported Garfield Heights Coin Club from the get-go. He did a shout-out video. We had a giveaway video. He did another shout-out for our giveaway video, and recently he did his Rolex of his coin collection. So Mr. Monkey Swag, thank you so much for your support of our channel. How are you this evening, by the way?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry?
How are you this evening, by the way?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I just ate dinner.
Now, what you said you had a video posted earlier today, and I didn't get a chance to watch it because I was in my car driving around for work.
Yeah.
But give me a sneak peek before I jump on after our live stream.
What sneak peek of some of the coins I showed on there?
Yeah, quick sneak peek.
Yeah. Trade dollar. The trade dollar right here is one of the coins I showed. Let me go dig through my gold coins. 1921 high relief piece dollar is another coin that I showed on there.
Nice.
And let me look. 1883 S half eagle. And I believe the 1883 S half eagle has a mintage of 83,000, which is a pretty low, decently low mintage for a gold piece.
Right. That's right.
And from what I've read on PCGS, well, this is an NGC grade example, but from what I've read on PCGS, none of these coins have been graded higher than MS64. So these coins do not exist in gem condition. MS64 is the highest you can go.
Wow.
And mine is graded AU55. And, you know, you could buy this coin in AU grades for the same price as a common date, but in mint state, the price really jumps up.
Very cool.
Yeah.
We've got a couple people joining us. Juan Rangel. Yes, Juan, this is a live stream, and the guest is Mr. Monkey Swag. And he's asking if we can put a link to your channel. Absolutely. Let's get
and only you have the power to put links down in the side chat because this is your chat. I can't do that.
Okay. I'll do that right away. So, Mr. Monkey Swag, I wanted to ask you a question. You posted a very interesting 4-coin. I had a video where I'm giving out free advice, and you gave me 4 coins to choose from, and I was like, man, those are some really nice coins. Why those 4? Are those 4 something you're seriously looking into? Or
yeah, those are the ones that I've been thinking about buying.
Okay.
In the future, I mean, but of course, I think the only one of those I can afford at this time would be the Hawaiian quarter. I just save up to buy the other ones.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the Hawaiian quarter, anything from Hawaii in the 1800s, very cool. There's a lot of serious collectors out there.
And the thing about the Hawaiian coins is a lot of them are molested. Like some of them have like cleaning, most of the time cleaning, damage, heavily circulated. But this one is an original coin graded AU55 with original brown toning. That's not ugly brown toning. It's pretty attractive brown toning, and still has a lot of luster. But the cap bust that you suggested, I mean, that really caught my eye just because of how much luster it has. I mean, it's a white coin, even though it's XF45, but it's an original coin just because the luster looks original.
Real quick, sorry to interrupt. I just posted the link to Mr. Monkey Swag's video. I'm not sure how to post it in the description. Probably not until the
Yeah,
video's over
yeah,
when I
you
can
posted
edit.
it.
But that's a link to Mr. Monkey Swag's channel.
Yeah, so you did fine. I mean, it showed up in the side chat.
But anyways, yeah, you know, gut reaction. Just my gut reaction was, man, but anything bust right now, very hot. People are coming and looking for it. When I was set up over the weekend, there was a couple people that just said, "Hey, what do you have bust? I'm looking for anything bust." And I mean, and that's all they did. They were walking around the show, and they don't want anything good, very good. They're looking for
XF.
maybe VF, yeah, XF and up, you know,
Yeah,
XF and up. And if you've
and
got a strong XF 45, I mean, that's and it's graded, you know, with mint luster. That's great, man.
yeah, and the one that's really expensive is the bust quarters, right?
Oh yeah, anything.
Yeah,
I mean, bust right now, and that's the thing. Like, in my earlier attempt at a live stream earlier today, I just did a little blurb out there about military payment certificates, MPCs. And I think like the current price guide that's printed, the prices have not caught up. I think with the new price guide that's going to be released, they're going to adjust those prices higher because MPCs right now are hot. They are hot.
so
So
they're counted
certain
as exonumia, right?
MPCs,
Yeah, are they exonumia?
I don't know the answer to that. You know, I would say that's just a type of paper money. You know, the
Okay.
the price guide is it's in the dealer gray sheet. Let me see if it's in the CPG report here.
Yeah. Like you know how the red book has some prices on tokens and
Yes,
others,
yes.
and like for example, there's these Alaska tokens, like these Alaska military base tokens. That's not stuff that you can find on a gray sheet, right?
No, I mean the gray sheet is always expanding, but
Yeah, they're not
no,
big
they
enough.
don't have that.
They're not big enough markets to to
But
have
hey,
updated
look,
prices.
your Hawaiian coinage is included.
Yeah. Huh. So here's the
Yeah.
thing. You know how we also make Puerto Rican issues and Filipino issues?
Yep, yep,
You would think
yep.
that they would be listed with the Hawaii issues.
You know, Red Book has them. I'm not sure. You know, I think what they do for the gray sheet is like what you're going to use the most of. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean,
they
I
kind of
never.
condensed everything.
Yeah. I mean, I never seen any of the Puerto Rican issues in the market. But I never seen anybody sell those,
Yeah.
and I wonder why I don't see them.
All right. What about peace dollars? You know, I'll be honest with you. When I made my video, I make my videos and I just let them go. And I'm like, man, I should have said this. I should have said that. And I forgot to say that at my Saturday show was in Canton, and there was a guy walking around just looking for high grade peace dollars. And I think I had four in my collection, 23, 22, and 24. And he's like, you know, I want some of the different dates and some higher grades. And he's like, and he told me, he says, I'm paying overbid. Um, and there's an online auction that I'm kind of part of. The blue sheet price, which the blue sheet is like sight unseen. I think the dealer bid was 200. Blue sheet was 160. So I said, yeah, I'll go 170. And boom, it shot up to 245, 275. I'm like, what is going
Wait,
on right now?
what date shot up that much? Well, which date?
I think it was a San Francisco. I think it was a 24S.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because about those, the 1924S is a semi-key date in MS condition, and
Yeah.
the reason why is like San Francisco peace dollars have the worst strikes in the series, which is weird because San Francisco Morgans have the best strikes in the Morgan series.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I suggested one of your videos like about Rolex coins. I suggest that any P star from San Francisco with a strong strike is good. It's a good buy.
I agree. Well, I'm going to go to the chat real quick.
Okay.
Hard Money Militant, thank you. I messed your name up. I was like, I gotta say his name, but I forgot it that one time. So Hard Money Militant, thank you so much for commenting on some of the previous videos. And Hidden Numismatist, I'm still trying to do these video responses to everybody who commented in our giveaway video.
So what did Hidden Numismatist ask? I forgot. Yeah, I know you did respond to him.
Yeah. Did I or did I not? I can't remember.
Oh yeah. What type of U.S. coin is the best numismatically? I think that's what he asked, and I think you did answer him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you posted a
video.
video.
Does ring a bell. That does ring a bell.
And I think you suggested classic commemoratives, bust coins, seated coins, and Indian head cents.
And listen. I mean, come on. That's a question that you can ask 100 YouTube channels, and 100 YouTube channels will give you different answers.
Yes, and
same thing.
Fred would probably recommend Thalers.
Yeah. So you never know. You walk around I'm going to show that. You walk around a coin show, and all of a sudden people are going to say, invest in what I have, or
yeah.
Or, I would invest in this. And people are going to give you different answers, but there are going to be some common themes. I'll be honest with you. A lot of common themes. The dealers will say the same thing. And those things are, high grade stuff. And if you're going to go for classic coinage, for example, standing Liberty quarters, they're going to tell you, go for the full heads. Pass on, the higher grade. Take a lower grade, but get the full head. Same thing with Mercury dimes. Pass on a MS67, get the full bands.
Yeah, what knows that, standing quarters tend to have higher prices than Merc dimes and walkers. And I think the reason why is because standing quarters were only made up to the 1920s, while Merc dimes and walkers were made up to the 1940s. And during the 1940s, I consider that the start of the modern era of coins because the coins are higher grade and they make them in the multi-millions. The mintages were in the multi-millions. So that's when the machines were modernized.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why walkers and Merc dimes from the 1940s are so cheap.
Mr. Monkey Swag, since I've got you and your expertise on right now, I'd like to do a response to some of these questions that I had and cross some of these off so we can get closer to my next giveaway. Are you game?
Oh yeah, sure. Just don't ask me to grade anything because I'm not good at grading.
No. And it's hard. The camera's tough, but here we go. This one is from Silver Bean Counter. Silver Bean Counter says, thanks for the giveaway. I'd like to see a video on how you go about buying your first graded Morgan. How do you go about buying your first graded Morgan? What's your response to that?
I mean, does he mean like he probably means a common date, not a rare date, right?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. When I get these questions, it's tough. So, I think that's a great point.
Yeah, I think
going about buying your first one, you made an excellent point. Get a common date.
I mean, I think because many of these guys are stackers. So so the reason why you pick Morgan is because a lot of bullion sites like JM Bullion, APMEX, Provident Metals, they always have some common date silver dollars in stock. They have nothing rare.
Right.
So I mean generally a slab Morgan MS63 will cost you around $50 anywhere you go. That's a common date.
Now, yes, I have seen advertising for that. I've received emails or even an eBay notification that Morgans and MS63 are this price, 64 that price. And
Yeah,
so
they're
I'll
generic
just
coins.
right. Also, I'll put in a generic coin, put in the price guide, and I'll be like, that's way too high,
Yeah,
But then if you look at the retail price, it's like, okay, it's below retail, so you're in there. But my answer to Silver Bean Counter's question would be this: um, if you're going to go about buying your first graded Morgan, I would get something in the highest grade you can, get it in a common date, and you're going to want to go to either a coin shop or a coin show and just walk the floor. Say you're looking for graded common date Morgans and just get a couple, write them down. I did a video on what to bring to a coin show. Write it down on your notepad, walk around, and then have your price guide check it. And that's what I would do. That's my recommendation.
yeah. Let me go plug in my computer. I mean, to be honest, I never own my Morgan collection isn't that impressive. I never own any Morgans that are even grade MS65. Mine are mostly MS63 on average. Just choice.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah.
And I think MS63 is it's a benchmark grade. It's, 61, 62. They're
Yeah,
kind of, to
yeah,
me,
you
they're
should avoid
floaters,
those.
63, bam, that's a solid grade.
Yeah,
And
62. Like, I remember you showed a McLaren collection Morgan, right?
correct.
Yeah, I
Three
have
piece.
one that was graded MS62 that I bought from my local
Yeah.
coin shop.
Yeah. Let me just go to the chat real quick. Hard Money Militant says he'll definitely check out Monkey Swag. Thank you so much. Blues Coins, how are you doing? Heavy
Oh,
Metals, what's up? Deepak, I got it for you, my friend. And Heavy Metals asks, how about a Carson City? So would you recommend Carson City as your first Morgan graded?
yeah, but I recommend a generic date Carson City. Like, I mean, not all Carson Cities are rare. There are generic dates that sell at a certain rate, like 1882 CC, 1883 CC, 1884 CC.
Yeah.
They all sell for around $200.
Man, I'll tell you, at the Garfield Heights Coin Club, there were so many in the GSAs that were selling for 160, 180, and people would, they got sick and tired of them. Now they don't come around as much, and the general price is up around 180 to 200 just for your generic grade. But a side note, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a GSA in the GSA plastic with the ribbon around it? Or do you prefer taking it out of that GSA, putting it in a PCGS holder?
Actually, mine's the middle ground because I think you should check one of my older videos. Basically, I showed a new type of slab PCGS has, where PCGS gets a giant slab and they slab the GSA holder and the coin inside.
Wow. I
Yeah,
never
it's a
heard of that. I
giant
did not
slab.
know that.
Yeah, it's
I
like
did not know.
yeah, the America the Beautiful 5 ounce quarters. You know what
Yes.
slabs they're in? They're slabbed in a slab that about that size.
Now, as the dealer's brain takes me to this next question, is it worth it? I guarantee you that's not, they're gonna upcharge for that kind of a slab. That's not a standard slab rate.
Yeah,
Do
of
you know
course
how
the
much that
plastic
costs?
is expensive.
Yeah. So I mean, you probably have to find it on the side of the road for it to be worthwhile. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's better. I think it's better to buy that type of stuff just because most people prefer the original GSA holder intact. So I
Yeah.
guess it's worth it. I mean, it's going to be more attractive than cracking it out and putting in a regular PCGS slab.
I agree. I think there's that old school charisma, that charm with those old
Yeah.
GSA holders.
And another thing is they're doing the same thing, I think, with the Redfield holders. I mean, you would never crack out a Redfield holder coin.
Yeah. Hey, I think that's a great answer. let's move on. And you know what? I wanted to follow up. You had posted a comment, and I kind of cut it in half because there was a lot of meat on that bone. And I just answered part of it about your CAC. It was just me talking about the CAC sticker. But the second part to your comment was discuss how baby boomers will affect the coin market. And then you actually have a third part to that. But let's talk about baby boomers affecting the coin market.
Yeah.
Give me one moment to say this. I learned recently that every day, today is the 19th of July, 10,000 people, is it 10,000? Yeah, I think 10,000 people turned 65 today. And tomorrow, 10,000 people turn 65 every day for months. And so what is going on right now? What are they doing? Do they have enough money in retirement? I don't think they do. So I think what's
Hmm.
happening is they are selling off their goods. And Hummels, Royal Dalton, these like they're the collections that these senior citizens have, and they're just going down in price.
Yeah. And a lot of senior guys like you know how they inherit coins from their grandparents.
Yes.
I mean, but they're all going to be all common date coins, and mostly circulated, right? And they always tell me they thought they have something valuable when it's really just worth the silver value. I mean, that's just going to increase that's going to increase the supply of common date coins in the market anyway.
Yeah.
So further driving prices down.
And the rare stuff was always going to be rare, and
Yeah.
I call that, the cream rises to the top and then it stays there.
Yeah.
And they recently discovered an eighth type of a proof barber dime. It's like an 1838 or 48, I can't remember. And the last one sold, it was a proof 65. It sold for 14,000.
Wow. Was it a cameo?
I don't remember. But the new one that they discovered is a proof 55, 10 points lower, and
Oh yeah, I've seen a
it sold for 13,000. It
wow.
sold for 1,000 less in 10 points. It's just because it's so rare. It's so rare. So the
Yeah.
55 is so close to the 65 price. The 65 price, forget about it now. It went up.
Yeah. I've seen what, circulated proofs look like look like. They don't look that nice. But
Yeah.
but yeah, same thing, like my local coin shop, they have an 1893 S Morgan dollar.
Yeah.
It looked like somebody ran a car over it and somebody scribbled crayons on it. They still
Yeah.
slapped it anyway because people will buy it even in the shittiest grade possible. People just have to
Yes.
have it to fill their albums.
Yes, and I've seen the third-party graders designate graffiti on the holders if
Oh
somebody
yeah,
carves something in. And it's expensive. So what do people do when you go to a regional show? You've got your local show, you've got your national show, but the regional is kind of in between. And sometimes ANACS sets up, and it's $10 to slab a coin. So
oh
for
yeah, yeah,
$10, you can get it certified, get it, boom, right there on the spot. So a lot
yeah.
of
I've
times,
seen. I mean, I've seen so many 1921 piece dollars and details holders from ANACS on
yeah,
eBay.
yeah, and that's what it is. Because just you're there at a show, it's less expensive just to get it verified that it's not counterfeit.
Yeah. So do you think it's ever worth it to buy details holders?
Uh, if you're filling a collection and you can get it for the right price,
Then yeah,
yes,
yeah. But
yeah,
not for investment. Yeah,
and
definitely.
and that's the thing. Listen, I was so into Indian head cents at first, and I did purchase a 1908 S
Oh
for like
yeah.
$10 because the back had like there was a huge gouge in it, huge gouge. And I was
Yeah.
like, $10, how can I lose? So
Yeah.
guess what? I put it up for auction. It sold for 15, big whoop-de-doo, but it's like, it's just, they call them fillers. You know what I mean? Fillers.
Yeah. I think
But
I've
hey,
seen that. Yeah.
pardon me. I just want to shout out the people who now entered into the chat. It looks like Silver Wolverine is in here. And you already addressed him. And that's it. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, let's go back real quick to the baby boomers. I think how are the baby boomers going to affect the market? I think there's going to be more polarization. I think right now you have, I'm going to try to do this in reverse. So you have, good, very good, all the way up to mid state and higher, right?
Yeah.
Everything in between here, it's either going to go this way or that way. I think everything in the middle is going to be less desirable. So it's going to be
XF.
how much is it worth scrap value?
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a VF, what's the price in good or what's the wholesale price? A lot of times dealer wholesale prices, it'll say good plus an XF. They're going to pay you the same price whether it's a
Yep.
good, very good, fine. You just
Yeah.
wholesale it out,
I mean, in scrap, in junk silver bins, you can find AU silver dollars, and I always pick out the AU silver dollars, or even low MS silver dollars that you find in a junk bin.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and then the last part of your question, I want to move on, is talk about survival rate versus mintage for a coin's rarity. They could make a lot of coins, but then they're minted or melted rather, and the survival rate is down. So I can tell you when silver price was high, there was so much stuff that was melted. I mean, unbelievable amounts of stuff. And how do you know what was, and how do you keep track of that? It's so hard. But, David Q. Bowers, I think he tried to figure that out in some of his books, and just a brilliant mind. But my God, how can you discover, they minted X amount and then they melted how many? How do you figure that out?
Oh, what were we saying? I was just answering a question.
Yeah,
So
no
about what
problem.
about melting?
Yeah, so survival rate, how can you tell the survival rate? How do you know how many were melted?
Yeah,
So
because people keep on resubmitting coins over and over again, right?
of course. Of
So I guess
course.
I don't know. They just, I guess, how frequently they encounter a coin in the market
Yeah.
that's in decent shape, that's not like beat up or anything.
Okay, one more question from my giveaway, if you don't mind. Last one. This one's from
Okay.
Poor Man Stacks. Poor Man Stacks wrote, I think I would like to hear about, is it worth grading coins? Is it worth grading coins? With who? And the ups and downs of grading.
Wait. So is it worth grading coins with, like, what do you mean by with who?
Well, I imagine he means which third-party grading company is it worth it?
Oh, okay. I mean, from what if you watch his videos, he has a lot of A and ACS graded coins. I
Yeah,
mean,
and I'll
I
tell you,
guess.
it is worth it to grade it with ANACS. I do believe, if you're just getting something verified. I mean, think about this. There are a lot of people that drive all sorts of cars or wear all sorts of watches, but there are certain companies that just advertise. And if you see it advertised, that's where you want to go, right?
Yeah. I guess if it's high grade old US coins, PCGS. If it's world coins, I guess NGC.
I think my opinion, I would do NGC or PCGS. Absolutely do ANACS if it's convenient, if the shipping is low, you just want to verify. And listen, if you know what you're doing and you're not really that interested in the resale real quick,
Yeah, NACS would be the
ANACS is
thing.
good. Yeah, if you're just buying it and holding it, because listen, you've got a good eye and you've got a good mind. and you're just
Yeah,
socking them away.
about
ANACS
that.
is fine.
You can find a lot of good deals with ACS coins. Like Blue Ridge Silverhound.
I do.
Yeah, he got a really nice Cat Bus $half in an ACS holder, and he paid a lot less than what a NGC PCGS Lab example would go for.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's good. You can find good bargains with ACS coins.
And he mentions the ups and downs of grading. I mean, ups and downs of grading. You send a coin in, and they say that it's cleaned or improper or questionable toning. Here's one: questionable toning. Have you ever
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
of
that's the thing.
that?
They never officially say it's artificially toned. They just say
Yeah.
that the color's weird, but they never even say it's artificially toned. Like they don't explain why they don't slab it.
That happened to a buddy of mine with Indian Head Sense. Some wicked toning on these copper coins. They were high grade, and they wouldn't even slab it. They wouldn't even
Yeah.
slab it.
So, do you know what questionable toning is? Because they say it's not the same thing as artificial toning.
I think questionable toning, and interestingly enough, I've been kind of studying up on a video I'm going to do regarding make numismatics great again. Asked about how do you price toned coins, and
It's
let me tell you.
subjective. It's just like modern. Well, it's just like art.
Well, let
Art
me
is
tell you,
subjective.
on the dealer side, there are some benchmarks to go by, and I'm going to be doing a video about that. But questionable toning, there's certain ways that you can tell real easy if it was artificial, and there's certain ways you can tell it wasn't. And then there's that gray zone where you're just not sure, and that's kind of questionable. That's that questionable. It's
Oh
tough.
yeah. What do you think about the crazy prizes that that colorful like rainbow toned silver eagles are selling for? Do you think it's worth it?
Let me tell you, if you have a type set of tone coins, you are a one amongst very few, because you cannot reproduce toning. And let's say you have a tone set of coins, and I'm going to say I'm going to go out and get one. There's no way I can't pay a lot of money for it. I have to shell out the cash, and it's going to take me a lot of time. So
Yeah.
time and how many of them are out there. There might be high grade, but toning, get real with high grade and find them from people who are actually willing to sell them. That is tough. So
Yeah.
there is a realistic demand underneath it. So I do understand that, but it's not for everybody.
Okay,
Not for
so Silver Wolverine has a question. What do you think about the reverse proof set?
I saw that, and let me tell you, um, you know, I used to play the U.S. Mint game, where they would release they're going to say they're going to release this coin. Okay, one of the ones that I played this game in was that 5-piece silver American Eagle set. They sold at a certain price, and then you didn't even open the box. You could automatically ship it to like Modern Coin Mart or some other company, and they would
Yeah.
automatically pay you more. Don't even open the box, just send it straight to us. We'll pay you another $100 right on top. So what did I do? I'd say, oh, I'd buy the household maximum. That's a quick $500.
Uh-huh.
And what did that do? What does that do to the market, though? You create this initial like craze. Everybody's got to have it. The prices go up. The people who want it buy it, and then boom, it crashes. It crashes. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. People like there's so many mint products. People lose interest. They can't collect all that stuff. Same thing with the Canadian Maple Leaf with the privies. I don't think those are a good buy. I don't think you'll get any numismatic premiums from buying privy Maple Leaves because the privy Maple Leaves like all these big dealers asked the Royal Canadian Mint to make privy Maple Leaves. The first privy Maple Leaf was the 1998 Titanic privy Maple Leaf. and some company called Family of Eagles LLC commissioned the Royal Canadian Mint to make those Privy Maple Leafs. So I'm only dealing with some of that.
I know what you mean by that, but let's stay on topic regarding the U.S. Mint reverse proof set.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I think if you've got a lot of proof sets, that's going to be a winner. At the mint price, try to get either online or on the phone and buy it right away.
Yeah,
and just keep it for yourself. But only time will tell. 40 years from now, is it going to be something out of this world, or is it just going to be another set? My guess is it's just going to be another set.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You know how this is what I don't want to happen with those proof sets, like because you know how the reverse proof eagle, they issued the reverse proof eagle for 3 consecutive years from 2011, 2012, and 2013. Then the reverse proof eagles aren't so special anymore.
Right.
So I hope they don't do that with the sets, but it looks like they're doing that with the sets because last year they had a enhanced and circulated set, right?
Correct.
And now they're having a reverse proof set. So what will they have next year?
Well, let me ask you this. Why are they coming out with these new designs?
To make money.
Bingo. So, and they have to entice the collectors that are already out there. I don't think they're enticing new collectors. I really don't. And I think the collectors who have been in the market for a long time, they don't collect the modern stuff. I think the modern stuff, what is collected is stacking. It's the modern market is stacking.
You're right, because the dealers, like a term from modern coins that a lot of guys on YouTube like to buy is non-circulating legal tender.
Yeah.
And it's basically like swords, right? There's real swords that are battle ready, and there's wall hangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the non-circulating legal tender modern proof stuff are the wall hangers, the equivalent of wall hangers.
I understand. I understand what you mean. Hey, when I sent you a message about possibly doing this live stream, you had made mention about talking about die varieties or VAMs and errors.
Die varieties versus errors. Like one of your videos, I think you're showing some foreign coins, and you said there's an error. I mean, wouldn't that be more of a die variety?
You know what? You're absolutely right.
Because I mean, error is like a mechanical thing, not something that came from the die. It came from mechanical issues. Because
Yes.
have you heard about the Dragon and Phoenix silver coins?
I've heard about them. Yes, I have.
Yes, people say that there's an error, but I'm like the only one that's saying it's a die variety because it's not an error because I mean the planchet isn't getting damaged by the machinery. The only reason why there's the coins look different is because somebody forgot to put something on the die, so it's a die variety.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And in preparation for this video, I pulled out my cherry pickers guide from Bill Phoebus, and I just want to let you know that in the back they've got this very cool thing where you just look at photo number 1, you look at this, and then you try to figure out what that is.
Yeah.
And is it an error? Is it a double die? Is it a triple die? Or they have something called die fatigue. And I just wanted to mention that if you have this number 1, and then there's a number 1 to the side, only to that one side, that's the doubling. But sometimes it looks like there's doubling on both sides, and that's called die fatigue. It actually appears as a double, but a double will only be one shift. Die fatigue will be on both sides, and it'll appear as doubling, but it's not.
Yeah, I never heard of die fatigue before, but I've never been an expert on errors or varieties or anything because I don't have
One
any
of the
sharp
one
eyes.
of the biggest coins for die fatigue is going to be in your Lincolns. I mean, Lincoln. There's so many people are into Lincolns, but the 1922 D, where there is no D, or they call it the poor man's 55 double die.
Oh
It's
yeah, I heard that. Yep.
it's really not a double die. It's just that there's die fatigue.
Yeah. And those aren't worth that much. The ones with the poor man's isn't worth that much at all compared to the
Die
real
fatigue,
thing.
die fatigue on a true numismatist means nothing. But if you find one, you're like, oh, look at this is different. Well, it's like, not really. But
So do they treat die fatigue just like a weak strike when
pretty much, pretty
Huh.
much. Yeah,
So yeah, it's undesirable.
yeah. Silver Baggins just stopping by. I'm at work. Well, grab a brewski, brother. Anything else you want to talk about tonight? Or does anybody else in the chat have anything they'd like to ask?
Yeah, I mean, so yeah. So do any guys want to answer anything?
Monkey Swag, are you looking to purchase any numismatic books? Are there any books out there that you're looking to purchase?
Here's the thing. Just wait for me. I'm gonna bring out a book for you that's like really amazing. Like that. I even posted a video about it. The Encyclopedia of Silver Dollars.
Okay.
And the author is somebody who was a member of the Silver Dollar Roundtable,
Okay.
the National Silver Dollar Roundtable. So it's a book from the 1990s that I bought from Half Price Books, but it's in pristine condition.
Nice.
So I'll try to bring out the book. So just wait for me.
All right. Yep. I'll wait for you and I'll answer this question that Silver Wolverine just asked. He says, hey, Garfield, do you send a lot of stuff to NGC or PCGS? No, I don't. I have sent stuff in. I typically send it to another, or just give it to another dealer and say, hey, just add this to your next shipment and give me the bill when they come back. However, when you send more and more stuff to NGC or PCGS, you learn more and more about pricing. You learn more and more about, you kind of develop your eye to determine, is that coin going to grade high or not? And it's always good to have inventory on hand. So I'll go to a shop that has a lot of peace dollars, for example, and I'll say, hey, is this peace dollar worth slabbing? And they'll pull out some 65s and 66s, and we'll reference them, and they'll say, it might go 62 or 3, So no, I don't.
Here's the book. So the
Okay.
Silver Dollar Encyclopedia, and it has information on all the different designs of the silver dollar, including the Gobrik dollar. Let me try to get some better pictures.
Very nice. So is this a book that you're recommending people purchase that are into?
I'm not saying that you should follow the prices on these because this book is from the 1990s.
Right.
But if you want information on on each year of a silver dollar, for example, each year the Morgan dollar, like what the striking characteristics, the rarity, how often they appear in a certain grade, I would recommend this book.
Very nice.
It's an expensive book though to buy on Amazon, but I bought this from Half Price Books for like $30, and I think it's
half.com.
No, I actually went to the actual store, Half Price Books, the actual store.
Oh.
I bought for $30, and the issue price of this book during in 1990 something is $100. It's the issue price.
Wow.
But I mean, this book's in great condition. Um, if you just want to know the history of the coins and and stuff like that, just buy this book. But this is not a book they can find. But I think if you want to know more about Morgan dollars, I think a good book to recommend is the Whitman books. Like, Whitman is the publisher of the Red Book.
Yes.
Yeah, but the Red Book, it only has basic information. But Whitman produced books that are focused on a single series with more in-depth information. They have books specifically on Morgan dollars, books specifically on Buffalo nickels. So I think if you want to know in-depth information, you should buy one of the Whitman books.
Absolutely, I agree. Within our club, we actually have a library and a librarian. We list all the books that we have on our website, and we have a lot of those books, and they're great reads. People sign them out, bring them back next month, and I think it's great. I think everybody should have a little library, even the old price guides, like for example, the
Yeah,
standard catalogs from 1700s, 1800s, and not necessarily worry about whether the price is correct, but at least you can identify a coin. You can
yeah,
get an idea of how much silver is in that coin, and you just have that sitting on the bookshelf. But hey,
yeah.
there's
Same
a
thing with this book from the 1990s. It's kind of like nice. You could compare prices, like coin prices, over different decades.
yep.
Yeah.
Silver Wolverine says that you're thinking about submitting. I would definitely get in contact with a local coin shop that does submit coins. They're going to have a sticker at the door. Maybe they might not. But just call them up and say, hey, do you guys send coins for grading to NGC? They'll tell you and say, I have some coins that I think I might want to send in. I'd like to show them. So, and they'll tell you right away whether it's worth it or not. And don't be surprised, you might have to pay about $30 because the coin shop it has to fill out all the paperwork and send it and get it back. That
Yeah.
you pay shipping both ways. Uh, so it does get expensive. So, and then
Yeah.
Silver Baggins says, I have penny books started. Should I do nickels next? I don't have a lot of money, so would it be cheaper to start nickels, dimes, quarters, halves? I'm getting down to key dates on pennies. What do you think about that?
Uh. Wait. He said, what about key dates? He wants a affordable key date. When collecting nickels or pennies or something.
Well, I'll let you reread the question while I answer it.
Yeah, I was trying to read it to
My
refresh it.
my answer to that is Silver Baggins. I had a lot of either push your coin into the folder, or you'd have that clear slider. You'd put the coin in there and set it in that nice album. I did a lot of that, and my opinion is if you want to do that, you're going to develop your eye, you're going to develop the grade and how to appreciate what a good coin is. After you do that, what I would do is just don't worry about trying to fill in dates and get the whole set. Just go for a beautiful coin, a high grade, in a comfortable price that you can afford, and just say, okay, I'm looking for a barber. Can I see your barbers? You go through the barbers, that whoever the shop, the coin dealer at a show, online website they have, or you go to an auction. They just have something beautiful there. You can afford it. It's got good toning, or it's blast white, and just go for, rather than focusing on a set, go for type and just buy beautiful type. And that, to me, in my opinion, if you think it's nice, chances are somebody else will, and that's what I would do.
Yeah, and what I think is, maybe he can collect Liberty Head nickels, the V nickels, because they're pretty inexpensive, right? Even in higher grades.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do any of them. Do any of them. And maybe you're going to do something that somebody has a lot for sale that you can through and get some good prices. That you might say to yourself, well, I'm going to do dimes. And then you go somewhere and then all of a sudden they got nickels coming out of everywhere, so
Yeah.
just
About
do it. Yeah.
dimes. About dimes, he could do a short set. Like, for example, a 1940 short set is a good place to start. Like
Yeah.
because yeah, I mean if you don't have a lot of money, then you could easily assemble a 1940s short set of Mark dimes for relatively cheap, because Mark dimes from the 1940s are pretty cheap even in BU condition. And if you have more money, then you could do the 1920s.
Heavy Metals says that an ANA membership is inexpensive, and with that membership, that allows you to submit coins directly to NGC. Yes, that's a very good thing to do. Also, the ANA is going to give you a lot of information for free and connect you. I have to say, I was an ANA member. I let my membership lapse, and I'm going to be renewing very soon. I think it's good to support the hobby, especially now when they introduced that tax, on internet sales.
Hmm.
Silver Baggin says, "Gotcha. I'm still enjoying the books. I'm new to numismatics. Absolutely, enjoy those books. Take your time. Um, learn to grade. Learn to grade, and that's the way. When you see a coin, here's what happened to me, Mr. Monkey Swag. 1884 Morgan, Carson City, in
Wow.
an old green holder PCGS, and it said MS65 PL. I
Oh.
looked at this coin, I flipped it upside down and inside out, and there was no way it was PL. No way.
Huh. So basically an overgraded green holder, right?
Yes, and I'll tell you, I shined a light. I shined it from this way, that way. I was like, did it get frosty and it's not PL anymore? I mean, it looked like maybe it could have been PL, but there's no way it would get PL nowadays. And
Yeah.
and that's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to do is learn that stuff when you do your books and your folders and your albums, and you just learn the grades, and there's no quick way, man. You got to spend the time. You
I
got to spend the time.
remember. I remember Silver Wolverine. I think like he commented on one of your videos about grading. Like if the red book does allows you to is good for teaching you how to grade, but the red book has basic information. It does tell you what to look for when you're grading, but there are other price guides. I mean, there are other guidebooks that are better, like PCGS coin grade, which really shows you pictures on how to grade coins.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
PL means proof like, and there is an actual dictionary or a set of guidelines that these grading companies use based on how far away you can read letters from a piece of
Yeah.
paper, whether it's
Yeah.
4 inches, 6 inches, 8 inches, and there's deep mirror proof like,
Which is
and
over
then
8
there's
inches.
ultra proof like, which
Oh
I'll tell you,
yeah.
I've never seen one. I've never seen one.
Yeah, here's the thing. The National Silver Dollar Roundtable. I read some of their articles. Proof like Morgan dollars look different depending on the year or decade. For example,
Okay.
there's cameo proof likes, brilliant proof likes, and gray proof likes. Um,
Mr. Monkey Swag, wouldn't it be easy if coins were graded like baseball cards or comics? 0 to 10, right?
yeah, but I mean, the thing is, comics don't have
You know,
different. They're all paper. They don't have same thing with paper money. I mean, they don't have
I know.
reflectivity.
What I mean by that is it's either an A, B, C, D, or F, and that way everybody can figure out what the price is. But from a 64 to a 64 plus with a star, and then you've got one with a sticker on there. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
yeah,
tough. It's tough, and that's how people get burned. That's how
yeah.
people lose money.
It wasn't like this before. Like when A and ACS issued the photo certificates,
Yes.
it was very academic. I appeal does not play a factor at all.
Yeah.
Because you're the proof like designation, the stars. That's just all eye appeal, not really the
Yeah.
grade.
Yeah. Or what they would do, these dies, the top and the bottom would come, and then they'd say, you know what, let's just polish the bottom one, or they'll clean that one up. And then they just kept going. So then now you've got the reverse of a coin that looks proof like, and the obverse doesn't, and how do you grade that one?
Yeah, I mean they treat those like regular coins, but I think they do give them a star. I think at least.
I've seen a lot of them that just I'm thinking to myself, my God, look at the reverse. Why wouldn't they slab it opposite? And then NGC says, well, you should have told us which way you wanted it. There's always an excuse. Let me ask you, why would I want it flipped? Of course, so it's worth more money, and
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. Deep down inside, everybody wants to buy something that they think they're getting a good price on and they can sell for more money. Come on, everybody wants that, right?
yeah, yep,
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Yeah, blue coins, buy the coin, not the holder.
yep.
All right, Mr. Monkey Swag. I do appreciate you joining me on this live chat. Again, thank you so much for the support of our channel. There's a lot of other channels out there that have supported us, and I would like to invite them as well. But Mr. Monkey Swag, you're always welcome back. I
Mhm.
I always love reading your comments in the chat, and look forward to reading more of your stuff in the near future. And I'm going to go check out your Rolex of Coins video shortly.
All right, thanks. Again, really nice talking with you.
Likewise, thank you guys for watching. Have a good evening.
Yep.
Bye.
Good evening. Good and good night.
Thank you.